Okay, and we should be live. Sorry that I'm about 10 minutes late, but welcome to the Sinner's Pew, that every now and then I keep accidentally calling the back pew, because that's what I was going to call it for a while. If you ever hear me call it the back pew, it's not the back pew, it's the Sinner's Pew. The back pew is already taken. Today, we have as our guests the Godless Iowan. Say hi.
Hello, everybody.
And we have KayLee here, my girlfriend. Say hello.
Hi.
Now, KayLee is not actually an atheist, but she's not a Christian either, and I think that she is opinionated enough to make this interesting, so if she does good, she might be on a bit more often. Now, this podcast, and it is a podcast, not only are we live streaming on YouTube, but we're also an audio podcast. So if you're listening to this in audio podcast form, then you can watch it on YouTube. If you're watching it on YouTube, you can listen to it to audio podcast form if ever you're, cooking or driving or mowing the lawn and you don't want to look at my face while you hear us. Now, the schedule for this show is going to be all messed up, so I'm not going to comment on it much at all, except I know I will be doing this at least once a month, because on my Patreon, as a reward for currently the $6 tier, that might be higher eventually, but you will get credited if you pay me enough. The audible credits in the podcast. The ones who meet the requirements for this month are Patreon Dan and On Me. It doesn't sound right either way I say it. Those who have just signed up will get that shout out next month. If there's any donations, we will read them halfway through or at the end of the show. And yeah, that's just about it for the boring announcements. So, what do we have here? We have here Larry Wessels. This is the exact same video that I was talking about last episode. And we hardly got through, we didn't even get through a third of it. And it's just a gold mine. So, we're still responding to that. And I did find out it was from either the 80s or the 90s, because Larry Wessels started his evangelism thing in 81, but I couldn't find a date on this video at all.
I'm just laughing at, he reminds me of a magician. I can't, I'm literally sitting here trying not to laugh.
So far, I think this guy looks like if Bill Gates and Ben Shapiro had a love child.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but, yeah, so if you're interested in the audience, if you're interested in the Godless Iowan, he will be in the description and show notes, depending on where you're watching this. And if you like live streams, and I know you do, because you're watching one right now, don't lie to me, I'm pretty sure he has quite a few live streams.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do live streams on all sorts of topics.
Oh, yeah. So, definitely check him out if you still like him by the end of this. But, let's...
Probably won't.
I'm terrified for this, because I know that I'm opinionated, so it's like... Oh, boy. Someone said he looks like someone who had the nickname Wormy in school.
Alright, well, let's dive in and see what they have to say.
Try to force you to answer them, but if you do answer, it won't make any difference to them. They'll just come up with something else. So it's one of the things that's bad about all that is that they're working on a finite mind. You cannot comprehend how matter comes out of nothing, or the end of the universe. We have a finite mind, and if you're going to build your reasoning and logic and conclusions on the basis of this,
every coach that ever existed in high school.
I already have a headache, and I'm 4 seconds in.
Yeah, I know. This was intense last episode, so they're not easing up now.
Outside of religion, the only story this guy ever tells is when he got the winning touchdown in the homecoming game of his senior year.
It's so sad because I could totally see this guy at like a dinner party, like saying that. Or like, you know, when I was young. Yeah, see, someone else said he looks like a cone head. I was right. Like
you were third.
Yeah,
you were 3rd and 15. Quarterback took it. I hadn't caught anything all year.
Thanks to Jesus, I finally did it.
I like their glasses. Their matching glasses. They're so dated. It's my favorite.
I could put on my glasses. I got like the SpongeBob glasses look.
Isn't it nice that glasses have gotten kind of fashionable?
Yeah.
Like 2 giant goggles on your face.
Oh, I remember when I was younger and I had the 3D glasses from the movie theater and I popped out the lenses and wore them.
Yeah, that was a trend for a while. I'm very ashamed of you.
Glob of neurons, your finite mind. And instead of the Word of God, which is very proved, and God Himself telling us, well, that's just insane. That's illogical, and it's dumb.
Don't trust your brain. Trust this book from 2,000 years ago. It's proved. It's proved way more than your glob of neurons.
Yeah, way back in the 80s, the Holy Bible was way more reliable than any little thinker you got in your cranium there. You know, your mind can only hold a finite amount of information, but the Holy Scriptures have infinite amounts of words in them, alright?
They did not know how to fucking write. Because, like, every single time I read it, it's like, no wonder you fuckers can't comprehend anything. Like, you guys have been fed this since you were little, and I can't comprehend shit.
Just going through Genesis right now in my Bible study on my channel, and it's the worst written book I have ever gone through. Like, I was a minister for 10 years, and I never realized how badly written the Bible was until I started reading it for my Bible study on my channel. It's just say stuff like he was 115 years old. It's like, why did you add "an"? That doesn't make sense. And
yeah, but some people swear. Sorry?
I was going to say the Tower of Babel, God strikes people just because they're building a mud brick tower.
It's a tower that got too close to him, alright?
Like, how tall can you make a mud brick tower?
They had the technology back when we were all speaking the same language. But I think it's really weird because, you know, when I was deeply religious, I came from this camp that swore by the King James Bible. But that just makes everything so difficult.
No.
Yeah.
I would get brought to church by friends. Like, it wasn't like my family. Like, my friends would be like, I remember my friend's mom got me like a little Bible as like a gift, and I remember I was like, you know what, maybe I'll read it, and I was so lost only a few pages in, and I was like, what's going on? Like, what is it talking about?
Yeah.
What was funny about my upbringing was I was Pentecostal, and we were King James only. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that happens in a Pentecostal church is you have a message in tongues, and then someone interprets it. And whenever they interpreted it, it was always in Old English.
That's when Jesus spoke.
People. Yes, exactly.
You know, and when I was deeply religious, I didn't even bother reading the Old Testament because I was like, I'm going to read the New Testament first because that's all the relevant stuff. But even then, I was so bored even reading the Gospels. It's I don't know.
I mean, maybe if they used proper English, I might be able to like actually read it, but
I can get you the I think we have a new international version. I think I have an English standard version. I can hook you up.
Oh no.
Do you have a complete Jewish Bible? That's fun.
In the Bible would have been so much cooler if, like, you know how Jesus turned water into wine? He could have totally, if he's magic, he could have totally turned water into pina coladas.
That is not where I thought you were going. I thought you were going to say he could have turned water into, like, chocolate cherries.
Exactly. He could have done that. Fed the 5,000 with chocolate-covered cherries. Their minds would have been blown. Someone would have wrote that down outside of the people in the Bible.
Yeah, I mean, why didn't he turn water? Why didn't he turn water into proper English like we're supposed to talk?
Exactly.
No, but shame on us for thinking that we know anything about God with our finite minds, says Mr. Coach here.
So he has a finite mind. So if we can't make any statement about God with our finite mind, how can he make a statement about God with his finite mind?
Because he got it from the good book.
That makes sense.
I'm sorry, but it is stupid.
Right. Well, like I said before, they have to take a shot of stupid cane to deaden their sensibilities to reality.
You're starting off on the wrong foot completely.
Exactly.
That guy really thought that he made a great joke there with stupid cane.
Yeah, well, this was, like I said, we're starting like 22 minutes into this because, again, we covered this in the last episode. But basically, the idea is that Novocaine like deadens your nerves and stuff, but atheism like deadens your brain cells, so it's not like Novocaine, it's stupid cane.
What?
That's a thing he said last episode.
Not funnier.
I was laughing at the stupidity, but now I'm like depressed about it. Like, wait, these people still exist? Like, why?
Well, I mean, again, this is 80s, 90s, so...
Well, these fuckers still exist.
Yeah, I know, so this is a bit dated, and everything that they're saying I heard growing up, but not once in the same spot. But this here has it. So I think it might be like a dated thing. We were talking last episode, where... this is on VHS, from an age where they didn't really have the internet. So I think it was a lot easier to spread misinformation about atheists and atheism, whereas you couldn't really easily look up what atheists thought. So I think that's why this is more densely compact bullshit than I would normally hear today. But at the same time, everything that I heard them say, I heard one place or another growing up. Sorry.
I was just going to say atheist response videos were a lot harder when it was just a tape trade.
Yeah. Mail order our VHS tape will tell you everything that's wrong with Larry Wessel's things that's wrong with atheism. What was the name of this again? That's not going to tell me.
In just 4 to 6 weeks, you can have our response video in your hand.
They didn't have Amazon Prime back then, so, yeah.
Oh.
No, you want to know what's been, the thing that still happens now is that, I'm pagan, and it's interesting, because especially right around now, around Halloween, I've had so many people come up and be like, do you celebrate the devil's holiday? What do you mean the devil's holiday? And they're like, you have to be careful about this. Oh, be careful. There was even one where this woman, apparently in her small neighborhood, was found out to be pagan, and someone actually believed that they should burn her. They thought it was still legal to actually burn witches.
Growing up in the church, we used to have these things called hallelujah parties on Halloween. Instead of going trick-or-treating. I mean, we would go trick-or-treating and then go to the hallelujah party. One year I dressed as John the Baptist with a missing head.
Oh my God.
I got in a lot of trouble. I was carrying my head around on a silver platter, and the minister and the church elders did not like that very much.
I wonder why.
Instead of the headless horseman, you were the headless Baptist?
Biblically themed.
Oh, that sounds awesome. But the name of this video is Examining the Religion of Atheism 1. The Illogic of Atheism. Or number 1. So, this is part of a series, and we're not even...
Oh, no.
We're a third of the way into the first part. So this is gonna be fun.
Well, and like you said, this was not on a YouTube. People actually paid money to receive these lessons. It blows. It's just, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell by the interlacing. This is definitely ripped from a VHS, but this was uploaded to Vimeo as soon as possible, as far as I can tell from Larry Wessels. So yeah.
Now let's move on down here. The camera can follow over here now. We're moving to the next page. Thus, modern atheism is not simply the absence of belief in God. It is actually an attack on God, a rebellion against God, and a challenge to God.
Well, the motherfucker couldn't create anything but just wine. So, I mean...
This is the Promethean fate, which forces the atheist crusade, focuses something. The atheist fate crusade against faith in God.
Fuels.
What the heck? Fuels. Yes, fuels. Sorry, it's a little blurry. The VHS didn't bring it out very well.
Yeah.
We don't attack God. We attack bad theist arguments.
The bad theist arguments are coming from God, so you're attacking God, alright?
Oh, well, maybe God could have come up with better arguments.
I hate to say it, but, like, that's the only part of the Bible I remember ever. Like, all I remember is Jesus and wine. Other than those two.
Well, we'll take you back to Sunday school, Bible study. You can learn all about it.
Don't you dare.
Oh, Lord. I remember I had to go to...
anymore.
That brings you back to going to catechism, because at first I was raised Catholic. It was so boring. What?
Can you turn up?
Yes. I don't think I can turn Godless Iowan up much more. My apologies.
Let's try to get a little closer to my mic.
Yeah, but yeah, that's as high as I can put it. So, my apologies. Also, the internet's cutting out a lot, so I'm sorry for those of you watching the stream. Not much I can do about this, but you can watch this on the YouTube channel once this is properly uploaded and in audio podcast form where you can hear all of this. So, yeah.
Okay, so there's more to atheism than these little definitions of no belief in God, or as they say, I'm without a belief in God because there's no evidence. You know, that's what they're always yelling and screaming about. But we're going to look into some of that evidence and see what's going on.
Evidence. There's no evidence. That's what I always do. That's the first thing in the morning. I wake up and go, "There's no evidence for God."
Yeah, like whenever I'm out and about, I just walk up to people and say, "Hey, do you believe in God? Where's your evidence? Debate me, bro. Where's the evidence? Show me the evidence." And you know, I feel like that really highlights what atheism is truly all about.
Elderly women down as they're crossing the street and say, "Where was your God to save you?"
Yeah, but
I literally had a woman once ask me if I needed an exorcism done. She was an old lady, and I was standing there perfectly fine, and I was like, "Oh, it's not really my thing." And she was like, "You're not accepting God?" And I was like, "No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's not quite my thing. Like, it's interesting. Like, I'm glad you guys are enjoying it." And she was like, "Who let you in here?" What?
You can't
Normal
enjoy
people?
it unless you enjoy it.
Yeah, like, I was like, what did I do? And then she was like, she went to, like, the priest or whatever, and she was like, "I think we have a problem." I was like, oh my god. Like, I'm not doing nothing wrong. I was there with my friend, and then she was like, "Oh, wait, that's your friend?" And she was like, "You have to be careful." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, watch out for me. Like, I'm gonna take you away from Jesus."
You got to understand this. Like, have you ever had a friend that invited you over to watch a movie and then they stare at you during the parts they want you to laugh at? That's what theists are all the time. They can't enjoy their religion unless you're enjoying their religion too.
I don't like to admit things right now, but I'm that person during movies. I really...
Why didn't you laugh? Why didn't you laugh at that? That was funny because you're staring at me.
Yeah, I can always tell when her favorite parts are coming up because she's staring at me intensely.
Oh yeah, and if he doesn't pay attention, I'm like, hold on, let me rewind it. Wait, just make sure you're really focusing. This guy's face scares me. I can't. He looks like what would come in your nightmares.
Yeah, well...
Like...
this screen cap is, I think...
It's horrifying.
Exactly. Like, I don't know exactly what he reminds me of, but I'm gonna say this, and it might sound weird to people, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if it's because I grew up with crooked teeth. Like, I've had braces and stuff for years, and I even had to, like, they wanted to do, like, jaw surgery and stuff and all that. But, like, whenever I actually had, like, my fake teeth in and they were freshly straight and everything, it horrified me. Like, I smiled in the mirror and I was like, is this what nightmares are? And now whenever I see, like, someone with, like, a perfect smile and they're, like, have a huge smile in a picture, I legit get scared. Because they just look like they're about to murder me. Like...
Seriously, if you woke up in the middle of the night and that face was looking at you, you're not surviving till morning.
The glasses make it even worse, because in a way it just makes me think that that's his entire eyeball. So then it's just more horrifying.
His seductive face. Like when he's wanting to get his wife in the mood, that's the face he puts on.
You're like, hey baby, you want some stupid cane? Oh Lord.
Oh no. Oh no. I don't like that I feel like I have the same hair as him. Maybe I don't need the glasses. Maybe I'm looking too much like him now.
I don't know. Your glasses are better than his. Like, you look like a librarian. He looks like that.
I
don't know if it's a compliment or not. That I look like a librarian.
Yeah. Are better than his.
You know, the other weird thing is that, like, it might be the VHS quality, but, like, you can't see, like, his individual teeth, so he looks like he has, like, a fry at the top of his mouth.
I like how his suit is way too big. That bothers me the most. Like, you hardly try.
It has not been tailor fit. This was picked up off the bargain rack at his his local Goodwill, and he was like, "Yeah, it works."
Yeah, like I can
put it on. Yes, no one's gonna watch it.
Like, I can excuse what looks to be a half Windsor. I can excuse the glasses because of the time period, but come on, man, you gotta know that doesn't fit you.
He's leaving room for the Holy Spirit.
This guy looked into the mirror that morning and was like, "Yeah, I look good."
I'm gonna show them atheists who's boss. Tell me atheism is a lack of a belief. Shoot. God, he's so proud.
I didn't bring that book about the intricate organization of the universe, but it's just phenomenal how every single thing that exists is ordered.
Right. But see, so atheism can be defined.
Yeah, it's called life, you dumb fuck.
No, but do you think that this order came out of nowhere? You think that these things just happen?
Yeah.
And they just appear like the intricate, complex, orderly way that it is now? Think there's a natural process in which things came to be? I don't think so. I think it all popped into existence at once, because that's more believable.
I mean, that just makes me want to insult their god more, because he's making a fuck ton of mistakes then. Like, if he's choosing all this and can delete things at will, like, oh, he deleted the dinosaurs and shit. well, then he's adding way too much for the well-being of the Earth.
That's why I hate God. He deleted the dinosaurs.
Right?
Yeah, like...
I told Heath the other day, like, when are the chickens gonna turn back into T-Rexes or something? Like, when is it gonna happen?
Yeah, our scientists are on it currently.
Good. It needs to come back.
I do think that would solve a lot of our problems. We have too many people, we have too many opinions, so if we just reintroduce dinosaurs, that'll, like, get rid of half of the human population, and we'll be happier for it.
What if God created dinosaurs to hate Christians? Then what do you do? Like, what if Christians are their favorite meal? Like,
I mean,
science can never bring back the T-Rex because then there would be a huge debate over what bathroom they're going to use. And it would just be you know, it's too difficult.
And good luck debating with a T-Rex. Like, let's...
Yeah. Thought I had him, and then he bit off my head.
You just bring the Bible over and he shits on it.
No, there'd be videos online from like Muslims going, "See, the T-Rex doesn't stand on the Bible or on the Quran." You've seen those cat videos? The cats won't stand on the Quran.
I have not seen that.
That's the best comment I've seen in my life. I don't know if I should say it or not, but that's amazing.
Go ahead and say it,
okay.
so that people listening can know.
So someone said in the chat, Trump's children are proof of an orangutan giving birth to humans.
Yes. Yes.
Good job making this political. I can't wait to see the comment section.
Well, I mean, no, technically it's about animals. He's not a like, you know, if you think about it that way. Like, the T-Rex is more political. Can we have a T-Rex for president?
Trying to figure out what bathroom it needed to use. It was totally political.
Oh, Lord. And then when it decides its own pronouns, and we need to choose whether or not we accept that.
I'd love to see dinosaurs run as presidents all over the world. Just as like one of those interesting things, like, oh, you sacrifice me for humans, and you know, I'll give you money. Like, there you go.
Not only as without a belief in God, as they want to say, or a belief in no God, as Webster says, and other reputable books and publications, but it's an attack on God. That's a good definition for atheism.
Mm-hmm. So, Godless Iowan, how do you feel attacking God as you do as an atheist?
I feel great.
I feel awesome. I mean, when I wake up, and once I've attacked God, then I can go on to attack like the Easter Bunny and leprechauns and the little guy that lives under my bed that might bite my toes off if I leave them hanging over.
Hey, that one's real. I saw that one.
Yeah. We attack arguments. We're not attacking God. Like, how do you attack something that you don't think is there? Like,
what makes me wonder is, like, okay, if God really doesn't like all these people supposedly attacking him, I mean, apparently he has all these, like, powers, so don't you think he would have done something by now if it bothered him? And people are like, that's when the end of the world is happening. Oh, I wish it would have ended a long time ago.
Well, like, this is the exact same God, supposedly, that in the Old Testament, a guy used the pull-out method, and he caused the earth to open up and swallow him and his entire family.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And yet we're just blatantly attack God all the time and nothing happens.
She's so shocked right now.
I don't even know. I feel violated. Like, I feel like the earth just swallowed me. Like,
that's not totally true, but it's a totally real story in the Bible. What? A guy uses the pull-out method, and God swallows him and his entire family.
Yeah. I mean,
well, I guess he doesn't love his children that much now, does he?
No, he loves his children. That's why you need to make more of them. You think you can just spill your seed on the ground as if, you know...
You can't just put it in your sock like that.
I will actually... it's some of the worst stories.
Yeah, like, I obviously you haven't read the Bible through and through,
Thank God.
You don't want to, but there's some of the weirdest stuff. There's the... getting killed by the pull-out method. There's Lot's daughters date raping him. There was a part where... I want to say it was Lot, but it probably wasn't. But the guy in Sodom and Gomorrah offering his children to be gang raped so that angels didn't have to be gang raped.
No wonder Christians are still the worst.
There's a story where a man sends his concubine out to be violated by a group of people, and then she's dead in the morning, and so he does the only logical thing.
Yeah, I think that was the same guy. Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that was the same guy who offered his daughters, but they said, no, we want the angels. And they're like, okay, here, take the concubine. And then the whole Sodom and Gomorrah thing happens because of that. So, yeah, it's real messed up.
I'm gonna need to vape like 4 tanks after all this.
Someone in the chat said that our Spooky Bed here in the chat said they were glad that I left Santa alone, and I'm not touching Santa. I want gifts.
Okay, it doesn't matter even though I'm 18. Like, I still can't sleep with my feet outside the blanket, because, like, I still have that childhood thing where it's like, oh, if someone breaks in, they're gonna go for my feet. Like, as long as I'm completely under the blanket.
The blanket protects you from anything in your room that might try to attack you.
Exactly. It's like, oh, you know, a T-Rex pops in. As long as I'm under the blanket, I'm safe. You know?
Yeah,
what is it? I've seen some people say that, like, when children die, oh, God was taking his children back. Well, motherfucker, why'd you give them to me in the first place? Like, I don't have a receipt.
That sounds like you're attacking God. Why are you attacking God right now?
Oh, look, I punched him.
I don't know. I don't... It's like, if people are attacking God, why is it that big of a deal? Because is God so sensitive that he can't handle it? I don't know.
Well, according to the Bible, the motherfucker wanted what he wanted.
Yeah.
He gets what he wants.
Exactly. That's why you need the blankets. See, if they would have had blankets, like the fleece blankets back then, we would have been great.
Your blanket is going to protect you from the second coming of Christ. Let me know how that turns out.
I'll protect myself from climate change. It's fine. I'll just put myself under a blanket.
What climate change?
Oh, don't even.
I have a natural instinct for science, and I'm saying climate change is just a hoax.
Don't even get me started on that. I seen that, and I immediately called Heath, and I was like, do you see this bullshit? Like, I was so upset. I was like, oh, I hope you get swept away in a hurricane. I hope your child is 10 foot under snow. Like, no. I'm starting to get angry.
I'm waiting for the UN to invade us because of all this. They're not gonna do it, but I can dream.
We need them to bring us freedom.
We just gotta pray for Jesus, you guys. We're doing it all wrong.
Lord's coming back soon anyways. We're gonna get a new heaven and a new earth. So what's the matter if this one gets ruined? I heard that one growing up as well.
Wouldn't allow us to destroy this planet until he says it's time.
Yeah, right? Like, what kind of PMS is he going through to eventually wake up one day and be like, yeah, you know, fuck the things I created. Let's get rid of it.
Well, I mean, the Bible does say that he regret making us.
I mean, I regret it too.
Yeah, I guess I can't blame him.
Build a wall around the climates. Oh god, yeah, we need aliens to come save us. You're telling me. I sometimes wake up and think, I hope they're right. I hope it's a simulation, because I don't want to believe we're this dumb. Like, please tell me that someone's controlling me and put, like, extra stupid or something. I don't know.
You know, I feel like maybe, like, their ideas are just all the same. You know, build a wall to keep illegal immigrants out, and, you know, build a wall around the entire atmosphere so that the carbon dioxide doesn't get out, the greenhouse gases don't get out.
That reminds me of Spaceballs. It's true, they open up in order to keep all the air into that one planet. They open it up around, and, like, imagine if they did that. Like... Or, like, have you guys seen, like, the Lorax or whatever? You know, you have to buy air, and, like, trees are all, like, inflatables. Like... Is that where we're heading? We're gonna be using styrofoam for snow?
No, don't worry. This is all natural. Don't worry. It'll be fine.
Oh, of course. I'm stressed. Like, my heart rate's going up. I haven't vaped in 40 minutes.
Against God.
They're just God haters.
It's hatred of God. That's a good definition of atheism. Now, let's move.
Then I guess I'm not an atheist, then. You know, if atheism is attacking God and hating God, then what is not that? What is not believing in a God? Because I'm that. I don't need you to reassign my beliefs. If we don't call it atheism, fine. But don't sit here and say, like, oh, you hate God. You know God exists. You know it in your heart, but you just hate him and you're attacking him.
Well, what has he done for me? Like,
is all the time towards God. Grrr.
I really want the dinosaurs back. That's all I'm thinking about right now. Like, I really just want a pet pterodactyl. I want it all back.
Well, the closest we got is chicken with teeth. But I think it's close enough. I'd love to have a chicken with teeth.
There we go.
Flying.
That's what atheists will use to attack Christians. We'll just get a whole thing of chickens.
Don't believe in evolution now? We sped it up for you.
Okay, I if a chicken were to run after me, I would be terrified. Like, I would. Like,
imagine if it had razor-sharp dinosaur teeth.
I'm gonna be crying, and I'm gonna climb up a tree. Like, I mean, I think one time a frog jumped on me and I started crying.
I just say, climbing a tree is probably not the best course of action when it comes to a bird.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
They can fly for short distances.
Oh, okay.
Here's what you do. You bring a blanket. A nice, big, thick fleece one. Just pull it over you. They won't know. They won't know what happened. They'll be confused and just waddle off doing their dinosaur chicken thing.
I want that as a horror movie. Like, I wanna see a horror movie of just, like, a really out of control chicken. Like an atheist chicken. But it has to have, like, one of those, like, British people that narrate the chicken's brain. And I want it to be an atheist. And I think it'd be hilarious.
Can be called Attack of the Cock.
Alright, I think we got our plot. Now we just need to find a director. And a chicken.
I'll tell you what, I'll get you... You know what, you have a camera on your phone. You can make it yourself. Go ahead.
Oh, no.
If you want it to exist so badly.
I want this guy to be the chicken. Can this guy be the chicken?
Yes.
Perfect.
Move on then to the next page as we try to move through what Dr. Mori has had to say here.
What is universalists going to do with atheists? When not universalists, but the people that think all people are going to go to heaven, like Hitler and Manson, and atheists and God haters, are they going to be going to heaven? Mm-hmm. Well, that doesn't make sense either, does it?
that's a whole nother ball.
Everyone's going to heaven, then obviously they would think that atheists and God haters are also going. Like, did that question even need asked?
I've always wondered, like, if God is real, I just love to imagine people, like, going to heaven, and then he boots them the fuck out. And then he keeps the people that they were, like, saying weren't allowed. Like, no, Susan, you've been a bitch since you were born. Like, I don't want you here.
If there actually is something there, people get up there and God's like, okay, did you read and follow the book? And they're like, yes. I'm like, wait. I wrote that book in such an awful way that no one should. I'm trying to get you to use the brain power I gave you. And you didn't. So no, you're going to hell.
You read through the whole Old Testament. How you fell for it, what a loser.
He just has like a joint in his hand. He's like completely different than what he's actually like seemed to be by the Christians, and it's just like, hell yeah, like let's party. Like if I die and I see him and that's what it is, like, oh yeah, now I'll be here with you. What's up? Like
totally pwned you.
I just imagine him just like pulling a lever and they fall out of a cloud. That's like what I imagine.
Yeah, but this was one of the things that
Spooky bed hair, you're hired. Hey, you can say said they can narrate.
But this is one of the things that led me to deconverting, becoming an atheist. I don't know the right way to say that, but this really made me question my faith, because I knew that there were people out there who had never heard of Christianity or Abrahamic religions. People in, say, China or India, just Asia in general, maybe Africa, where maybe they know that Christianity is a thing, but they've never heard enough to be, they were never preached Christianity. But if, you need to be saved and washed in the blood of Christ to...
Ew.
Yeah, that's a thing people say. But... oh, shit. Putting on the headphones. If that's how you go to heaven, then are these people just never... do they never have the chance to go to heaven? They never heard it. Is God going to punish them for not believing it then? And if God allows them into heaven anyway, then why wouldn't other people who don't believe in him but have heard of him but are not absolutely terrible people, why would they burn in hell? And that was one of the big questions that I didn't have answers to, that really made me question my faith.
You see, Hyatt, if God already knew that those people were going to be sinners and in evil, and if he knew they were going to be good, he would have had them born in America, where they could serve the one true God, and not their evil tribal gods that they're doing all the time. It's just a matter of logic there, Hyatt. I mean, come on.
I feel tears in my eyes. I want to punch these fuckers so bad.
Yeah, who needs free will anyway?
Exactly.
Oh my god, we're Sims. Oh my god.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, if there is a god, then this is all like a game, or like a game show to him.
Oh, that's why some people look really, like, weird, because he did the random, genetics challenge type thing. He just...
People are burned alive in fires because God gets bored sometimes.
Yeah,
just
right.
Like, I'm removing their exits.
Doesn't have time to watch all of us, alright?
The all-seeing God can only watch one person at a time. What if he just has, like, a crush on one human person? That's the only person he watches, and he's just like, nope.
So I guess the impoverished people are just playing this game on hard mode. That's all it is.
Yeah, right?
Exactly.
Ballpark there,
That's
brother.
right. We don't believe in heaven, so it must not exist, right?
Well,
Yeah, you fucking idiot.
We don't believe in heaven, so it must not exist. We have no reason to think it exists. Okay.
That's not exactly the arguments that we would make. We don't believe in it, so it doesn't exist. Like, we don't have any evidence for it. A ridiculous concept, because eternity is a really long time. No matter what, eternity would become just awful. Like 10,000 years into eternity, you've already learned everything there is to learn. You've done basically everything. You just sit around and wait for existence to end, but it never does.
Well, now I'm depressed.
Yeah, but the thing is, we'll be worshiping God all that time, and we will enjoy worshiping God, and we'll be happy and content for eternity in God's glory. That'll be the day.
Okay, well, I don't know who he thinks he is, but it's not easy to please me. So, like, he better have a high budget or something. I'm just saying, like, if I gotta deal with him for eternity, I'm not gonna sit there and just take anything. Like, I worked my way into those clouds.
Don't worry, babe. You're definitely gonna burn in hell.
I vaped my way into those clouds, okay? Like,
Even hell, like, eventually hell is just going to get mundane and boring. Like, how many times can you have a hot poker shoved up your butt before it's just like, it's Tuesday?
Yeah, I feel like there'd be so many, like, scientists there that we'd be able to find a way out of there. Eventually, right?
Eventually.
Yeah. But
you're just like, oh, it's Wednesday. This is when they're gonna peel my skin off. God, I hate Wednesdays, but okay, let's get it over.
What if you're forced to eat the food you don't like? Dude, you'd have to vape, like, the cherries and chocolate vape, like, forever.
Yeah, but I think... I think what they're saying here is that, you know, some preachers preach the wrong idea of heaven. They say, oh, everybody goes to heaven. And that's why atheists don't believe in heaven, because they get the wrong idea of it. Which is this sort of argument I heard a lot growing up. Like, oh, you just didn't hear the right message. You weren't a true Christian. No, I did. Everything that they tell me is what I believed. And it makes no sense.
And those Christian people over there, they don't hate enough people. Obviously not going to go to heaven.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. That's completely true.
Oh, boy.
We'll get into some of that when we're dealing with atheism and its logical errors. Because the logical errors of atheism also fall in line with the universalist errors in their belief systems. So we'll be able to answer that. Now,
you look like you got potato chip teeth. Like, don't sit here. What?
His glasses, were they called, like bottle glasses, like beer bottle glasses? Or were there glasses that's called that? I forget the name of his glasses.
But,
there was like beer bottle glasses, I think, or just like bottle glasses.
Yeah, but that's not the ones he's wearing now, is it?
I would think.
All I'm gonna say is that because they're all clear, it kind of makes it look like his nose widens out more than it really does, and it's really funny to me.
Yeah, I think his nose really is wide, I think.
So the whole chat is filled with pineapple pizza, and I thought all of you should know, because the entire chat is just convert to the one true religion of the pineapple pizza. So, I don't know how it started. I don't know why it started, but I'm really proud that we have these humans watching us.
You're proud? When I got my vegan pizza with pineapple on it, you were freaking out. You were like, no, pineapple and black olives? Are you crazy?
Into pineapple pizza?
Okay, I don't mind, but a pineapple and black olives.
Oh, that's what you were upset about.
Oh, you're getting salty. Look, that's gross.
What? You haven't tried it. I mean, the pineapple is not great, but it's not bad, not terrible.
He put pineapple on it out of spite for me. It was not because he legitimately wanted... No, I literally sat there and made a comment about people who had pineapple on their pizza, and he turns around, and then I was like, oh, what is that? And I was like, are you serious? Like,
I thought you were making a request. I thought you wanted to see it.
Oh, like I can't look up a picture of pineapple pizza.
But you didn't smell it and get the aroma of the fake cheese.
Everyone in the chat. How do you feel about black olives with pineapple? You know, all in one bite. Please let me know.
I think it sounds awesome.
Oh, yeah. See? There you go. You
Everyone
pagans.
in the chat, completely forget about these two.
I would just like to say right now that looking at this guy here, I don't actually know him, but I'm pretty sure that I can make the claim that he's never pleased another human being in the bedroom ever.
You know, I see what you're talking about.
I guess he was saving himself until marriage. That's not an excuse. That's an explanation.
He's like, one day, honey, one day it's going to happen. When Jesus returns, I will give you the best experience of your life.
I'll do the pull-out method and we'll be sucked up by Jesus together.
Oh, don't worry. He doesn't need to be pleasing anyone but the good Lord. Down on his knees, pleasing Jesus. That's all he needs.
Oh, please stop. My brain is so bad. Don't do that.
I got that joke from, actually, that's an old joke. I don't exactly know where it came from, but yeah.
Jesus, bless me with your holy bukkake.
Yeah, Jesus, come in and fill me.
Oh, God.
That's what you need. That's where he gets all his pleasure from.
Alright, now I never want to go near any Christian ever again.
Out more here. The causes of atheism. Why is someone an atheist?
Oh, Lord, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Oh.
Well, you know what? I've been wondering this myself. How did I become an atheist? How did I get this way?
I have a smart fucking brain.
Yeah, and you can learn as well, because you weren't there when I deconverted, so here's how I became an atheist.
And I guess it has something to do with the gay.
You know, with the whole paganism, people are always like, oh, God, I got confused by my earrings. Okay. But, sorry, I have ADHD, so every once in a while I get all over the place. But,
we noticed.
Oh, shut your face. I will make you get on your knees towards Jesus. Don't even. But...
This got awkward.
I told you. I told you from the beginning.
It got weird. You just made it weird. No, I'm just kidding.
But, what was I talking about? Wait, I got it. Alright, I'm getting there. Brain. But, like, everyone was like, oh, is it because, like, your parents sinned when you were when you were little and it rubbed off on you? And it was like, no, like, I was on and off kind of Christian. I didn't really read the Bible as a child. It was more like, oh, we go to church and old ladies, for some reason, have their hands up in the air. I don't know why, but okay. So I was always just entertained, and, like, you know, it was one of those things where I always interrupted the I don't know what they are.
Preacher, pastor.
Yeah, there we go. But, like, apparently, according to my mom, I would get really bored, and I would purposely, like, take one of my fake instruments and go up in front and just, like, yell. Just make a lot of noise because I thought it was boring.
So you always hated Jesus.
Like, I don't know. And to make it worse, like, people are like, oh, you messed around with the devil and now he's got you, like...
Did you ever hear the argument, what happened? What happened in your life that made you think this way? What turned you off from the Lord?
Pineapple on pizza.
Yeah, I never heard that argument myself, but it's my favorite. It's hilarious.
I've heard the argument. What happened? What caused you to become an atheist? You were such a good minister, and it's like, yeah, logic.
Yeah, they always get really dark as well. Like, they're like, did your mother die? Like, what? No, like, I'm perfectly fine. You need somebody, don't you? And you had nobody. Like, I had my food. That's all I needed.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, everybody that knew me when I was deeply everybody that knew me when I was deeply religious, they, for the most part, they don't know that I'm an atheist now. I keep it a point to not let everyone know, which is getting harder and harder now that everybody knows about my YouTube channel. But, yeah, I wonder, like, what would they say sometimes? I think ignorance.
There's someone out there watching your YouTube channel going, I haven't quite got it yet. I think he might not be a Christian no more, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, I guess that's the risk I take, though.
The amount of people that do, like, paganism along with, like, satanic, it happens so much with me that people are like, why do you worship the devil? I don't. And, you know, they're like, I see that necklace you're wearing, because it's, like, made out of stone and everything, and they're just like, I see that, you know, you worship the devil, and it's like, oh my gosh, with as much as you people want to sit there and, like, preach about the devil and God, you guys really don't know very much. Like...
Sorry.
No, don't do that. But, like, it's always really annoying. Or then they sit there and be like, oh, please don't curse me if I don't answer your texts or something. It's like, I don't know how, like, you know, spell happy you think we are. But, like, you know, we believe in karma, and you're not worth the karma. Like, as much as I would love to mess with somebody, I'd probably get hit by a truck afterwards, so I'm good. I'm fine. And, like, that's another thing, like, I've had some people ask Heath, like, some comments being like, why are you with someone who's pagan? And it's like, because we don't really give a shit what each other
like, we have this weird thing where we understand our differences and we respect each other and work with each other despite them. I know it's kind of weird, but we can pull it off.
It's obvious that you're an atheist and she's a pagan, so you both worship the devil. So, I mean, that's what makes it work.
Oh my god, he figured it out!
We're the same
Oh my gosh.
boat.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's okay, that's cool. I guess that was my karma, right? Like, I'm a super, like, superstitious type person. Like, I sit there, like, what is it? We went to New Orleans and there was a Ouija board in one of the places, and I walked out. I was like, oh no, like, a demon's gonna get me, and Heath was like, oh babe, I'm gonna touch it. Oh, I'm gonna poke it. And I was like, I will make you bathe in, like, essential oils.
That's my favorite thing to mess with her. Like, ooh... using a Ouija board, I feel a spirit. And she knows that I'm bullshitting her, but she freaks out.
I hate you. I hate it. Or, like, sometimes I'll sit there and, like, I use my stones and stuff, and, like, one time he was like, ooh, a rock. And I was like, you know what, it's a pretty rock. And that's, like, another thing is that, like, we can make fun of each other for it, so sometimes I'll be like, oh, your life is so bland, you're just depressing, and you don't believe in anything, and then he'll turn around and be like, you talk to rocks. Like, it's, like, one of those things that people are always shocked.
I used to do the same kind of stuff to Mrs. Snarky. She's my fiance that's in the chat right now. She used to be pagan, and I used to do the exact same kind of stuff to her because she had like a I don't remember what she called it, a shrine or something. And she's like, don't touch it because the spirits can get upset or something. And I would constantly, like, even when she wasn't in the room, I would go and mess around with her runes and her stuff and be like, haha, nothing's gonna happen.
He does that to me.
Yeah. It's fun, though. Don't worry, I know how this stuff works. We'll be fine. I'm doing it in, like, a safe, controlled manner. I've done my research.
I'm gonna,
it's okay,
like, pelt you with rocks. Oh, see, she said I drove him nuts with astrology. Me too!
Yeah. She's constantly reading me my horoscope. It's fun, though.
I mean, it's correct. Like, you know... trying to warn you, but whatever. That's fine.
And what's the why do they have a fear when someone checks into the causes of why someone's an atheist? I've noticed that a lot of times people, some atheists don't like you questioning why they're an atheist. You know, like
Really?
It's kind of interesting. Now here's what.
It's a dumb question.
Yeah, you know, every time somebody asks me why am I an atheist, I'm like, don't worry about it. Don't ask me. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You don't need to know. Why all up in my business? That's exactly how I respond.
It's almost never just, why are you an atheist? It's, why are you an atheist when there's evidence of God all around?
I hate that.
No, there's not. If
Look around.
you find the evidence of God, you would be the richest person on earth. You would debunk all of science, pretty much.
The amount of people that are like, that warm feeling you get, that's God. And it's like, I just ate hot food. I just realized I compare everything to food. Like, I think that's a pretty good way to describe me.
Yeah, but
I'm feeling from stuff other than God.
yeah, like that being filled with the Holy Spirit, I've only seen. Good God, you okay?
So gross. Just ew. I don't like that term. Like, oh, I'm filled with Jesus.
Here,
like,
I'll lay hands on you.
it sounds like some old
healed.
lady that's like using a Jesus statue to feel good for herself. Like, oh.
But when you feel the Holy Ghost, that only happens in church when they're playing deeply emotional music. I recognized this from a young age.
Oh yeah, I used to recognize, like, if a certain type of music was playing, I was like, crap, this is going to be like another hour. The Holy Spirit is entering the church. Yay.
Do you see what she just said? Wait, is she your fiance? Is that...
Yes, she's my fiance.
Yeah, well, she said Jesus wants to come all the way inside you.
No, that's someone else.
My bad.
Mrs. Snarky.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Kiss is not my fiance.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so terrible. I'm sorry.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure Snuffy is a perfectly fine person.
I'm so sorry. Oh, okay, well, your fiancé said I'm filled with his moist Holy Spirit like a creamy potato soup.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It is definitely moist.
Oh, God. See, it's one of those things where I'm not one of those people that hates the word, but then when I think of, like, what it's describing, that's what makes it gross. Like, it's like, oh, the word moist, that doesn't bother me, but then it's like, everyone uses that word in a terrible way. So, it's like, I can't think of it without being, like, grossed out now.
I don't get sickened by the word moist, but moist is not a word that makes anything enticing at all to me.
Not at all.
Oh, this cake was so moist. Well, I don't want the cake now.
Yeah, because, like,
good.
Now I feel like it's just gonna, like, jizz in my mouth if I eat it. Like, it's so gross. It's like, no, I'm good. Oh, hey, babe, we're talking about, like, moist potato soup inside of us. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing fantastic.
No, you're talking about the word moist. And I was like, it's not the word, it's how it's used to describe. Like, it just makes it sound gross. Ugh. No.
Well, at least the Holy Ghost isn't moist when he fills you up and you can feel it inside him.
It has to be moist. It has to be moist to lubricate, to get inside you.
I feel so violated.
That's the Holy Ghost coming inside you.
No. Where's the blanket? Where's... Here we go. No, I got a blanket right here. Nice and ready to protect me from the Holy Spirit.
Dr. Morris.
It's necessary.
Oh, someone just said your boyfriend will bang that devil out of you. Oh no, you dirty-minded people. We need more of the Christians. Play the video. They need to heal me.
Okay. The question is asked as to the causes of their unbelief. They suddenly reverse themselves and proclaim there is no need to examine the factors which cause someone to believe in atheism. And of course, Dr. Morey goes,
how can you believe, like, oh. I just died. I died inside. How can you believe in atheism? Atheism is just an answer. It's saying I don't believe there's a God. It's not something you believe.
To be fair, I do believe that atheism exists. I do believe there are atheists out there. So I do believe in atheism. Think about it.
Technically, yes. It's just I guess we do believe in atheism in a way, but it's not like isn't a world like they always like to say worldview. Atheism is not a worldview.
Yeah.
And I've never had this ever come to mind where someone says, "Why are you an atheist?" And I'm like, "I don't need to tell you."
Don't worry about me. I don't need to justify myself. To some extent, it's true. We don't necessarily need to prove atheism because, again, atheism in itself is not a claim. It's not per se a claim that God does not exist. So, when you claim that God does exist, it's more necessary for you to prove that. But that's different than never being able to question why any particular person became an atheist.
And I have my entire journey from faith to atheism on my channel, so I obviously don't have an issue with telling people why I'm an atheist now.
Yeah.
I think most of us are. It's like, why are you an atheist? Well, this is how it happened. And it's like, no one gets mad when you honestly ask a question. It's the things that you add to that question that tend to tick us off.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Are you just smelling it?
Yeah, because I can't vape it, so I'm just gonna smell it.
Alright, I'll let you do one quick one.
Okay. Okay, wait, hold the microphone. Okay, wait, you can keep talking to the...
Oh, no, we're waiting.
No,
we're waiting.
Don't put that on me. That's so rude. Like... Oh, it's stuck in my earring. Oh, I turned it. Please just continue, please.
All right.
Goes on. Earring?
Sorry?
Vape got stuck in her earring?
No, her headphone got stuck in her earrings because you got spirals.
Okay. See, I don't see you right now.
So I want to do one more. Just one more. Look, he gets it. He understands. Like, we're true vapors, unlike you, okay?
Well, she just blew it in my face. That's what's going on right now. So you're not allowed to do it anymore. I was being generous.
She's just going to do it to spite you.
Yeah, of course.
Here, and we'll move on to this
Strawberry
next page
shortcake milkshake.
Here, but he goes on as he describes how atheists don't like it when you want to analyze why they're an atheist. See, they like to say the reason you're a theist and believe in God is because you've got some mental imbalance, that you've got a psychological problem.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. When I see a Christian, I'm like, probably because you're retarded.
That's the answer to everything.
Thanks, Larry Wessels.
My depression in 8th grade turned me into a non-believer. Oh my god. The reason, babe, I don't like chocolate vapes. I strayed from God.
No, he's saying... But he's saying that's why we say Christians are Christians. We say that Christians are mentally impaired in some way, or I'm not entirely sure exactly what he's saying, but
there's definitely some issues somewhere. I mean, okay, I guess
just want to point out he is stupid multiple times, and now he's like, but the atheists say we're mentally impaired, so they're wrong.
Yeah, I gotta admit, like, sometimes on some level, it's like, okay, like, people will ask me, like, oh, you make fun of Christians, but you believe in crazy things, and it's like, true, however, I feel like in my religion, it's not 100%, which is why I completely understand why there are atheists, like, it completely makes sense. However, at the same time, like, mine has more physical proof than theirs does. So you know what? I'm not gonna sit here and claim I'm 100% right and I know everything, but I know more than they do. So...
Well, I mean, also, for the most part, pagans aren't assholes about it. So that's one thing to consider.
I've never had a pagan be an asshole to me or anything. I've never met any of them that have been like, oh, fuck you, you're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. Like,
well, I mean, I don't want to...
It's kind of the key to everything. Don't be an asshole, and people won't be an asshole to you, generally. But, I mean, you might come across some people that are just rampant, that they don't like you just because they don't like you, but most of the time, if someone is being an asshole to you, you probably did something to make them be an asshole.
I just smoke weed as God intended. Yes! Yes!
No, the Lord said, your body is a temple, don't pollute it with smoke. That's what the good word says.
I'm making the temple better than how he built it, alright? So, I don't know what to tell you. That's another reason, like, I think that's, like, when I was younger, why I started questioning, like, being in the religion I was, is because I was, like...
Couldn't smoke pot?
No. Well, that's a good one, but, you know, it was also one of those things that was, like, oh, I've had, like, terrible health problems. Did this guy just be like, hey, we're gonna make her have bad health problems? That's the way it is. Like, then I was like, what an asshole.
Like, all part of God's plan. God's mysterious plan.
God gave you those health problems so that people who don't have those health problems can feel blessed.
That's so sad that it sounds so true. Why are you messing with my camera?
Because I want to make sure that you're properly in frame, that you're not getting cut off at the top a little bit.
Are you saying I'm short?
No. The camera's maladjusted.
I've heard of that type of argument used in a church before. The church I used to go to, we were praying for this girl that had terminal cancer, and she died. And someone said, well, isn't it just an inspiration to all of us whose children don't have cancer?
I swear to fucking Jesus.
That should not have been said ever, anywhere, no matter what.
No, that's so terrible. And, like, I had, like, lung problems when I was younger, and it was always like, oh, that's just how God made you, you know, God knows you can handle it and work past it. Like, you know, if I do bad one time when he's trying to throw a giant boulder at me, I'm fucked. Like,
yeah, I think there was this person in one of the churches I used to go to that had cancer. We were praying for him all the time, and then it didn't work. I think the guy ended up passing away. Then they're like, it was all part of God's plan. They wanted to take him. Why were we praying in the first place then?
Why couldn't God have taken him in a nicer fashion? Like, cancer,
yeah,
right?
Worst place to die. It's like, oh.
It's all better on the other side. On the hereafter, it's all worth it, apparently. But, yeah, but, like, I forgot how I was going to say this. I can't think of a way to say it to make sense. Never mind. Let's move on.
So, like, I think my heart just, like, grumbled. I think maybe it's Jesus. I don't know.
It's time for the Lord to take you.
No, don't. I'm scared. Don't take Like, for some reason, my chest just grumbled. Like, not my stomach, my chest. Like, what even? I need to vape more. That's what's happening.
Oh my god.
That you've been brainwashed by the religion you grew up in. But the minute you turn it around on the atheist, and you say, well, wait a minute, have you been brainwashed? Do you have a psychological imbalance that causes you to be an atheist? What is the reason for you to be an atheist? See, they suddenly don't like it when it's turned on them.
Because you're stupid.
When I'm growing up, I didn't have everybody around me saying, there is no God, there is no God. We need to go every week to this one place where we learn about all the ways God doesn't exist. We need to have a whole separate school program dedicated to this atheist church to teach you about all the intricacies of the non-existence of God. Atheism wasn't forced on me as a kid. I didn't...
Did you watch the Ninja Turtles?
I watched the live-action movies.
See, atheism. You watched anthropomorphic turtles talking and stuff. That was totally atheist indoctrination.
I will tell you right now, this boy and the Veggie Tales is too much for me to handle.
What?
You literally will sing the Veggie Tales song at random points in time.
Because I know it bothers you. It also gets stuck in my head. But it also bothers you. I know it does.
Yeah, it does.
How can you not sing along to the VeggieTales theme? I mean, it's amazing.
Because when I was little, I cried from it because it terrified me.
She has a fear of talking vegetables, apparently.
Yes, I do.
She does not want to talk to tomatoes. A squash cannot make her smile.
And Lord help her if she waltz with potatoes up and down the produce aisle.
Why is this my life?
Hey, it's just not the show for you.
And so it's the show for the grown atheists.
Exactly.
No, but I mean, to be fair, I did not play Pokemon, and with all of the evolution going on in that game, I wasn't as indoctrinated into atheism as I could have been. I always find it funny the Christians that are afraid of Pokemon because of the evolution, or like Magic the Gathering because of the sorcery. Even my aunt and uncle, they did not allow their children to watch Wizards of Waverly Place because it was sorcery. It was weird and funny, but kind of sad.
I remember when I first became, like, pagan, I think I was, like, 11, and I finally started getting into it, because, like, a lot of one whole side of my family is pagan, and, like, back generations and generations, you know, and then the other side is Christian, and I remember I started going towards the other side of the family about it. And, I was so bummed, because I watched Wizards of Waverly Place, and I was like, I can't wait to turn myself into a fish. Like, I can't wait to have a wand in my boot, and I'm gonna, like, fly myself places. Like, if I want to go on a date, I can just, like, I got magic money, you know? And then when I got older and I started studying it more and I realized it wasn't that, I was like, okay, this is still really cool, but my heart is broken. Like...
Yeah, with what this is saying here... There's no atheist... I don't see how you can have atheist indoctrination. Like, unless you're a parent and you're just telling your child every couple minutes, there's no God. There is no God. There is no God. I was definitely indoctrinated into religion from my earliest age. Like, even at, like, 3 years old, I can remember being in Sunday school, hearing about how wonderful the flood was, that it got rid of all the evil people.
What? I mean, like, I want to sound like that's harsh, but, like, when I'm angry, that's exactly what I would say. But, like, I mean, Not everybody, just like certain people.
Like, the flood it's supposed to take care of all the evil people, and then like the very first thing that Noah does when he gets off the ark is gets wasted.
Yeah.
I wanted to say a specific name. I think you know who I'm talking about. Like, okay, so that's why she got that's why her house ended up bad after that flood, right? Because she's a bitch.
God looked down on her, regretted he had made her, said, I will wipe her off the face of the earth.
You know what? If this man in the clouds keeps doing that for me, I might have to switch the way I think.
Yeah.
Why do you deal with me?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like... I don't know how it was back in the 80s and 90s, but there are, atheist advocates that will, promote atheism. To some extent, you could say they use propaganda. But I think they sort of take the worst of us and apply that to all of us. They think that, we were all told by somebody who just hated religion, how dumb religion is, and that's why we became an atheist. And, we try to get everybody to read The God Delusion, and stuff like that. But, no. It's not really how it works.
No.
Yeah.
And that's what Dr. Morey's talking about here. Now let's look down here. It says, modern atheists such as Smith, now he's one that wrote the book, A Case Against God, which we've talked about in our opening definitions and in previous shows. Modern atheists such as Smith fear any investigation into the origin of their unbelief because they initially had only personal reasons for rejecting God. The personal reasons invariably come first, and their adoption of materialism came later as a defense for a choice they had already made.
Personal reasons.
I can't do it anymore. I'm checked out. Y'all can handle this one.
If by what he's saying he means life experience, then maybe those come first, and then you kind of look deeper into it. That's dumb. It's just dumb.
I'm not entirely sure what he's getting on about, but I think it's the same sort of, what happened to you? Why are you angry with God? What happened to make you angry with God? And that's the sort of personal reasons. And then they adopt materialism because they want to reject God after that because they're angry with God. That's how I feel he's... the road he's going to go down.
What reasons aren't personal with anything relating to yourself? Like, I'm hungry. Do you go, well, am I really hungry, or is this just my personal experience telling me that I'm hungry? I should study. Just have a sandwich. And you go back to the other direction. Every theist that you talk to is going to have some personal reason why they're a theist. Touched them, or Muhammad, or whatever. They had some personal reason why they are a member of the faith. So I don't have a clue what he is getting at.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to elaborate in a bit, and I'm dreading when he does, because, like I said, this doesn't really get any better. But, no, for a lot of atheists that I've heard, it really starts with questions. They start questioning their faith, and they get more questions than they have answers to. And without any straight answers, religion stops making sense. Generally speaking, we don't get mad at God and then just decide not to believe in him. There have been rare cases, I think. But, yeah, I feel like that's what's going on.
Well, like with me, I went through a time period of trying to be hyper-religious and do everything that I possibly could to keep my faith. And it just didn't happen. it started to go, there wasn't any stopping it.
Oh,
It
yeah.
just kept going.
Yeah. And I was the same way. When I started having, like, doubts and stuff, like, I was afraid. Because I didn't want to doubt. I think I was taught that doubting was a bad thing, that it was terrible. And after a while, I started thinking, why would God not want us to doubt him if we doubt him and then we test him, it should come out that everything's alright because God can easily prove himself. Why am I being so afraid? But yeah, it was really hard at first to really be okay with exploring whether or not God existed, and I was really trying to cling on to my faith as much as I could. But the more it kept bugging me, the harder it got.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Madeline Murray O'Hare is a good example of this point. When her life story was at last revealed by her son, we had shown his book in a previous show, it became obvious that she decided that she did not want to believe in God anymore when God did not give her what she wanted out of life. She had not gained the husband she wanted or the education she desired. Her family life was extremely miserable, so she turned against God with a savage fury.
If your life is that miserable, right? If your life is terribly miserable, and you pray for things to get better, and nothing gets better, I mean, I could see how you could start questioning things.
Yeah.
But...
yeah, the questions start. I don't like Bill Nye Shapiro. Or Bill Gates Shapiro.
Oh. Yeah, but it's not like, God didn't give me this, God didn't give me that. Well, you know what? Take this, God, I don't believe in you. No, nobody thinks that way. And we're not mad at God. Maybe this one person is, I don't know, I haven't looked into it, but no.
Later in life, she picked up atheistic belief systems such as materialism and rationalism because these beliefs fit her original rejection of God. Okay, and
so we hate God, and then we believe things that don't involve God.
I hate you so much, I'm gonna stop believing in you.
You know, I'm going to join the club of people who don't believe in you. How about that? That'll show you.
Take that, God.
Yeah. Hey, but I mean, I guess this is... There's a little bit of truth mixed in here, because there is a reason why people stop believing in God, and then they're more likely to accept materialism and rationalism, or maybe rationalism is what led them to doubt God. But that's not entirely false. But it is false that we're all just angry at God. But I guess it's kind of hard to tell them that through the VHS. So.
Oh, hey, babe. What's up? I played the video.
Going on, we find that now other famous atheists down through time and history. Ludwig Feuerbach, a famous philosopher, 1804 to 1872, said, well, actually he didn't say, but for instance, was...
What?
It took him about 70 years to say it.
Said it, but he totally didn't say it.
It took him a long time to finish his thought.
Yes.
Yeah, but I like how the second underlining here, it goes through half the sentence. They really did a good job in this. And this is like a huge poster board too, so they could have been as fine as they wanted to, but nobody needs to read that second line.
Not at all.
A theological student until he saw his two brothers cruelly treated by the police. His brothers, who had led a student revolt against the religion teachers in the university, were punished severely. Enraged with bitterness against his religious leaders, Feuerbach decided that he no longer wanted to believe in God. Now here's a guy who's a theological student, but he sees his brothers getting badly treated by the police and the religious leaders. He gets all upset about it, enraged with bitterness. Feuerbach decided that he no longer wanted to believe in God if this was the way religious people treated his brothers.
You just read that twice.
That's how it works.
Yeah, but he stated that twice. This is the whole "what happened to you" argument. This is all that this is. That's all he's saying.
It's awful.
Yeah. Again, that's why I wanted to go back to this guy, because it's such a gold mine of just
stress.
I know, right?
What's
Isn't
the
it
guy
great?
here for? Like, I've heard him say like 3 things, like, "Oh yeah, that's stupid," and "Oh yeah."
He's there to be a conehead. It's for, like, look entertainment. You know, because the other guy gives you nightmares, so they needed one that made you laugh. And that's what that guy's there for.
The other guy is the eye candy.
As depressing as it is compared to this guy.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think it would be a whole lot creepier if it was just the one guy, Mr. Wessels, sitting down like, "Hey, here's what atheists believe." I think that would be far more off-putting. So I'm kind of glad.
See, I told you the other guy there was to make it less terrifying. You know, this guy looks like Humpty Dumpty. So, you know, it makes you feel better.
Vowed to get even by developing an attack on religion.
Oh my God.
His eventual philosophical system resulted from a
dramatic.
prior personal rejection of God. He writes all these books against God that a lot of people pick up on, but it's all stemming from his prior rejection of God. It wasn't because he had a philosophical reason to reject God at the beginning. He just got bitter and upset how the police treated his
And
brothers.
then got fucking smart, you idiot. Oh God, look how you paused. Oh, oh Lord.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
I totally...
Okay, so looking at this argument, this guy is a theological student, so he's believing that God is good and doing good things, and then his brothers are treated what he sees as unfairly, and he doesn't just decide there's no God. He probably prayed for God to reveal himself to him and do something about this situation that he saw as an injustice. Nothing happened, and then he started looking deeper into it. It's not like he was one day, "I'm just not going to believe in God."
Conehead and wormy. It's perfect.
I like the name Wessels, though. I feel like it fits him. Mr. Wessels.
He looks like a weasel. Oh, that's what it is. It's perfect.
But,
Mr. Wessel the Weasel.
There we go.
the wormy weasel. There we go.
There you
But,
go.
yeah, like,
And
basically,
Humpty Conehead.
he's saying people get mad at God, they reject God, and then have philosophies that don't involve God. But I mean, it's not like I'm going to start off Christian and then be a materialist and then reject God. You know, of course people are going to become, say, materialists or perhaps even rationalists after they don't believe in a God. Because if you believe in God and you believe in Christianity, then that's going to keep you from it. Do you expect us to convert to materialism first? But
Exactly, it would make no sense. You don't have books out there written by Christian theologians disproving God or anything along those lines. It wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
They not leave the faith first and then write about their reasoning for leaving. That my reasons for leaving, and then I became an atheist. How would that make sense?
Yeah, but I lost my train of thought. It's fine. Let's continue.
I'm sorry.
No, I do that every now and then.
He does that all the time. It's an atheist. This is.
Even though I do this talking on the internet thing regularly, I'm not actually terribly good at it. So.
It's God confusing our tongues.
I guess so.
When you read the damn book, your brain's all over the place, so I guess it's never changed.
Yeah, what I was going to say is that...
You're welcome.
Even though we weren't necessarily... Do you hear that?
What are you talking about?
Never mind.
God's trying to talk to you. Just... No, he's not actually talking to you,
no,
you
it's
dweeb.
just, I'm wondering if it's in my headphones or not.
Yes.
What I was going to say was that, yeah, even if we become, say, rationalist or materialist after Christianity, that doesn't mean that we can't have good reasons not to believe in a God. That doesn't mean that we can't have our doubts.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't hear that?
Oh, no, I
buzz?
heard it.
Oh. Okay. Well, it's fixed now, apparently.
Blamed God for that.
Right.
And he decided to make a big deal about it, and then he built a system around it. So as you go into the reasons behind atheism, atheists aren't atheism for all these high and mighty intellectual reasons.
His mouth reminds me of a fish. And that's a perfect screen cap of it to show. It looks like a fish. You know the
perfect.
mud skippers or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he looks like.
You know what? This guy is proof of evolution, because this guy came from a mud skipper.
Evolution proven. Check.
There we go.
Yeah.
That'll be the new argument. Conehead came from a starfish.
Yeah, but even if our initial reasons for becoming an atheist aren't necessarily materialist, rationalist reasons, that doesn't mean we can't find more reasons down the line. Right?
Exactly. We tend to hone our reasons the longer we hold some sort of idea.
Yeah.
Research, and we study, and we use logic. Reasons, then I don't like God.
Yeah. So, yeah, after a while, we just learn all these high and mighty excuses not to believe in God. Is that what you're saying?
Are you letting your hair grow again? Yes, he is. You're welcome.
Yeah, although I will get, like, a cut to, like, trim the sides to make it look better as it's growing out. Alright, I'm not gonna listen to her, because she obviously doesn't know fashion. But, yeah, I will be growing my hair out. Oh, she's so insulted right now.
Y'all can do it without me. That's fine. Y'all can keep talking to the mud skipper. That's cool.
No, but I mean, why? He's fussing at us for being high and mighty, for having our reasons to be an atheist, as if they're not being holier than thou.
I've got philosophical arguments here that show there's no God. It's not that. It's because they...
I can prove you don't exist.
Right. It was because they already had their minds made up beforehand. That they rejected God for some personal reason. So maybe it was for sex.
What? Excuse me?
Okay, the gay is coming. The gay is on its way.
I don't know how to feel.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes sense. You believe in God, you can't have sex outside of marriage, so just become an atheist and you're home free.
Okay, well, there's some people that, like, like, you know, some of us don't like to talk, Mr. Mudskip, alright? Like, some of us really aren't into socialization, and we could still be married, and we'll probably never have sex with the person we're married to. Because welcome to a whole other realm of people who don't need sex. Who would have guessed? It's kind of like those, like, older women that are like, you don't have kids yet? When we were young, we had kids by the time we were 20. Well, congratulations, your life got ruined early. I don't know what to tell you. Like, then they're like, oh, it's a blessing. It's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful when they're asleep. Like, I mean, they're cute, yeah, like, but only 1/10 of the day.
Having to watch some of these kids, I do not feel blessed. I can tell you that much. But we can have more than just the initial reason for becoming an atheist. Let's say, sure, I want to have sex, so I'm gonna become an atheist. Even with that totally ridiculous reasoning for becoming an atheist, that doesn't mean that you can't later learn about rationalism, materialism, scientism, and...
You can't learn things, babe. It's not allowed. That's why they're still the same way they are now. They can't learn.
You can later have better reasons for believing in something, and that could make you a more adamant atheist, or more atheistic. I don't know.
And I would say, like, there's never been in person that has said, I want to have sex, so I'm becoming an atheist. No, they just go out and have all of the dirty, filthy sex they want, and then they ask God for forgiveness, and then it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. They don't know how to play the game if that's how they're doing it. But I feel like I wouldn't put it past him to bring up homosexuality, because I feel like...
to God, if I have to hear that bullshit, I'm gonna find this man now.
Yeah, because gay people are rejected by Christians and Christianity, so they leave Christianity. So they're just leaving just so they can have all the gay sex they want, instead of, you know, you're not welcoming to other people.
1980s, so... AIDS is still known as the gay cancer.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Haha, you swear to God, so you're a Christian?
For those that are younger, AIDS really was at one point called the gay cancer.
I knew that that was a big thing. I didn't know that they called it the gay cancer.
Oh, yeah. I remember when I was little, and, like, I think we had to, like, write a little essay about, like, say, like, bad epidemics or something, and there was, like, a teacher that literally outright said it was the gay cancer. It was caused from the gays. And I was like... And then, like, my uncle would sit there and be like, no, it was caused because a man fucked a monkey. I was like, what? What? What's going on? And other people were like, oh, it just happened. And some people were like, oh, gay sex. And then I remember one time they always used men, so I was like, how do you know it was like, what if it was started by a woman? I don't know. Like, is that a thing? I don't know. And they were like, no. Like, the amount of, like, times that especially, like, Christian men have sit there and been like, well, it's okay if you're gay if you're a woman.
Yeah.
You ain't getting into heaven with that statement. Like, good luck. Like,
Not every Christian is a good Christian boy.
They fucking need to be, and they need to keep to themselves and find themselves a good Christian woman to keep their breeding with each other.
Well, let's learn more reasons why people become atheist, shall we?
Oh, it's because we're gay. Alright.
I want to have sex with this person, or I want to take these drugs. I mean, you go into a lot of people's family lives.
I can be a Christian and take drugs.
It was all the drugs that made me an atheist. That's what it was. It was the fact that I could take all the drugs.
Someone said it wasn't a monkey. That's a lie. She was just very hairy. Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Oh no.
But you know, that's true. You know, with Christianity, you can't go snorting the marijuana. So if you want to do a round of marijuana snorting, you gotta be an atheist for at least a minute.
Grow the meth.
Someone said, so I won't have more sex by being an atheist. That's it. Back to church. I can't. That's another thing, too. Like, oh, you're smoking the devil's grass and everything. It's like...
God put it there.
Yeah, right? And they were like... You want to know... One person told me, God let the devil do certain things in order to tempt you to see if you were the true child of God. And I was like, well, I'm not winning any of these. Like, whoops.
Makes total sense that the devil would make a plant that makes people peaceful and happy and loving.
Right.
It'll make them turn against God.
What is the... Okay, I don't know if you've ever watched, like, Kitchen Nightmares or Hotel Hell or anything like that, but there was, like, a hotel in Oregon or whatever. I hope I said that right. Oregon? I'm sorry. I always do that. I'm so stupid. But, like, it has a hotel, and one of the owners... He didn't believe in business. He was like, it's just for fun. And he was like, you're supposed to relax.
Yeah.
And Gordon couldn't understand why, like, oh, why is there no furniture in this big room? Come to find out, they would party and have, like, music going all night. And he found out that the owner was smoking pot. And he got, like, all concerned. And the guy was like, oh, it's legal, it's fine. This guy dressed up as a giant mushroom. And was dancing in a mushroom costume while smoking weed. And he was like, don't do drugs, kids. This is what happens. And I was like, this is more of a reason to do it. Like, just a bunch of people dancing in a hotel space, like, hanging out. And then even Gordon himself said, these people are weird, but they sure are friendly. And it showed, like, 15 cuts of where people randomly came up and hugged him and said, I love you. And I was like, you see? Like, they're just trying to have a good time.
Do you think you can be a Christian while doing all that? No. That's why we become an atheist.
Oh my god. That's why I became pagan.
I became an atheist so I could dress like a mushroom.
Became a pagan so that I could use the grass. It's great. It gets me closer to nature. Someone said I must be a mushroom. They keep me in the dark and feed me bullshit.
Ooh.
I want to be a mushroom.
I didn't get the woman I wanted to marry, and I'm blaming you, God, or my husband died, and it's all your fault, God.
Yeah, motherfucker, it is your fault. Sorry, that shit pisses me off. I hate when they're like, oh, put your faith into him. He does everything. It's all in his plan. Oh, your child got hit by a bus. It's not his fault. Like, what?
Just to point out, he's crapping on a woman whose husband died of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Oral.
Yeah, and it's like... What?
Like what his fiance said.
Okay, an atheist. It's like these guys. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Oh, oh.
Ooh, calm down. You're not married yet. Ooh.
If that's her reason for being an atheist, I am perfectly accepting of that.
They're my new goals. She's my goal now. That's...
But, like, how could you not have doubts after something like that, Mr. Wessels? Skippy Wessels. why would God allow it? This does come into question, how is there a loving God if such terrible things happen? And I'm sure he has those bullshit reasons, but it doesn't make sense, especially from an emotional standpoint. So I could definitely see somebody becoming angry with God. But under that anger, there's a whole lot of stuff that doesn't make sense, and that's why they're angry, and that's why they have doubts, I think.
I was going to say, something like that leads you to question, and some people come up with answers that strengthen their faith. Other people come up with answers that weaken it. It's not a 100% that these people are going to be, okay, I question God because my husband died, now I'm an atheist. It doesn't work like that at all.
Right.
This is such... He's ridiculous. He's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I've been meaning to check out some of his newer stuff, if I can find any of his newer stuff, and see if he's gotten any better or worse. But so far, this has been fun. This has been a ride.
Sir, that was just terrible, and I'm blaming God, or the Nazis killed 6 million Jews, and I'm not going to believe in God for letting all this evil in the world go on, you know. So we have a lot of these problems here. Okay?
It's a fucking problem, all right. It's...
So,
this guy is a sorcerer. I'm just saying it right now. I'm looking at pictures of him recently. He somehow looks younger. Did in the 1980s.
It's God. God said you need more chances because he ain't got much else. He don't have the mushroom.
He's absorbing the life force of the other Christians around him, I'm telling you.
What the
he's kind of right. Like, apparently this is him. Those of you watching on the YouTubes.
Why does he look like the typical, like, Congress guy? Like, I feel like that's what most, like, senators and shit look like. Like, I think that's the usual.
I feel like that's just the,
typical white man?
That's just the photo shoot thing going on. But yeah, you're totally right.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how old he was in this that we're watching right now. I think he would have aged.
Yeah,
Not when you're bathing in the blood of Christ.
Oh my god. Yeah, yeah. So, good to know that God allowed the Nazis, and that's perfectly fine. So,
So, Dr. Morey is pointing out, and I don't need to really read the rest of this. Because he mentions other famous...
Read any of this.
Well, I mean, you have said it, like, twice before you read it, and then, like, 4 times after you read it, so, right. But you didn't have to underline the rest of it if you weren't gonna read it. I mean, come on. I mean, and I like how he to the last word. Because of this, he had to live, and then it goes in apostrophe because it's on the next page. But he underlined that too, as if it was important for us to read that little tiny bit of the sentence that's cut off. I like all the preparation that went into this, or didn't go into this. It's funny.
I'm stressed no matter what. Whatever.
Clemente and Charles Ballall and several other big wigs and so forth, but it always comes down to that they had a prior personal rejection of God, and it was for
he really
personal...
needed just a clip of that guy looking thoughtfully at the board.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was all done in like one take where they switched between the cameras, because they had a similar sort of thing earlier where they looked at a close-up on the board, and then the guy said, you don't need to zoom up on the board, and then they immediately cut away from it. So I think that, you know, they didn't they didn't edit this at all. This is just one shot. It's no need to edit it at all.
Stress. I need a vegan chicken patty right now. I need help.
Poor KayLee over here is stressing.
Because I'm keeping in all my terrible, like, violent thoughts that are like, alright, let's see if God will protect you after I hit you with my car. Like, let's find out. Like, I told you I'd get like this, and you were like, oh no, it'd be fine, babe. No.
Like,
Fuck this guy.
I'm not a vegan, but those vegan chicken patties are pretty good.
I know. Yeah. I'm not vegan either, and like when he first had me try one, I was like, oh, it's gonna taste like dirt. And then I ate it, and I was like, oh, so you gave me a chicken? And he goes, no, it's the vegan patty. And I was like, oh, he's trying to trick me into thinking I'm eating it. So like afterwards he was like, no, come look. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I thought it was chicken.
One of the only things that I can think of that tastes better to me personally that's vegan is the vegan chicken patties. Mm-hmm. They're awesome.
Yeah, I was real surprised because nothing else tastes like their real meat counterparts. Vegan hot dogs taste like tofu. Vegan regular patties taste like soy. Vegan chicken patties...
Don't even get me on vegan bacon. Vegan bacon, no. You're just... That would be my proof that vegans worship the devil. That they can say that tastes good.
Yeah, no. Now, I'm mostly vegan, and I am strongly against vegan bacon. Vegan cheese is hit or miss. Really hard to find a good one, but there are some good ones out there. But yeah.
Vegan bacon tastes like what begging strips smell like.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
No.
It was weird. I think I enjoyed a piece of vegan bacon for like a minute. And then after a while, I'm like, I have so much of this. I'm not going to eat the rest of this.
I'm sorry, you've had this fuzz on your eyelash for the past like 30 minutes. And I was like, you know what? Like, eventually it'll fall off. But it just wasn't. And it was bothering me. So you're welcome.
Yeah, how did we get to this topic?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I do.
But, out of curiosity, Iowan, can you give me, like, a brief overview of how exactly did you convert? Did you, get real angry at God and then become a materialist and then act mighty and mighty, or was it far more reasonable than that? How exactly was your transition?
Okay, so my initial doubts began, my cousin committed suicide.
Oh.
The church were saying that it was so sad that he was now in hell for committing suicide. And I was like, well, that doesn't sound right. Very much a Christian. And I started studying. And I actually went through this phase where I was like, I'm going to read the Bible verse by verse in order to gain a complete understanding of it. I started that, and going through Genesis, I was like, none of this makes any damn sense. Getting to the story of Noah was one of the hardest things that I ever did, and by the time I got through Noah, I was like, okay, none of this is real. There's no way that any of this happened. And just over time, I believed less and less of what was in the Bible and was finding better answers outside the Bible. And I one day realized, okay, I believe far less of this than I do of anything outside of the biblical source, if any of it. Because if the majority of it is just garbage, then why am I staking my faith on this? And so I found myself outside the faith. There was never a time where I was like, I'm choosing to be an atheist. It happened.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's kind of what they're getting at, because for you, obviously, there was something that sort of triggered it, a tragedy.
There was definitely a trigger, but the trigger was years before I actually became an atheist.
Yeah, but if But if someone like Wessels were to hear that, they'd say, oh, so you just got mad at God because something bad happened to you. But as we can see, when we really look into it, there's more to it than that. It's not just superficial. These things really trigger genuine doubts, and it's not just a full hostility.
Yeah, and my initial doubts weren't doubting the Bible. It was doubting what other Christians were saying, and I was going to prove through the Bible that they were wrong about what they were saying. So I was going to be the even better Christian by going through the Bible and living it according to the Scripture. Happen over time. It was like, okay, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. Why does Jesus do party tricks as his first miracle? That just seems odd. And yeah, over time, it was very much a process.
Yeah. Like what?
Just thought that'd be. I know it's not like the perfect moment to say it, but I thought it was interesting. I'm sorry.
I'm scrolling through Instagram. We have stuff we're doing.
I'm sorry. No, it was about marijuana.
Let's make it better.
I'm sorry.
No.
It's so hilarious listening to you two talk back and forth because it sounds exactly like the conversations that I have with Mrs. Snarky when we're in a scene together. Like, why are you pointing that out now? That has nothing to do with the thought. Why? Well, it's cool. And I'm like,
yeah, and you know, I get the same feeling with like watching my parents because I'm exactly like my dad.
Yes, he is.
And the way they act, it's like, wow, that's how me and her act.
And then like the other day he was like, is this my future? Is this what's gonna happen? And I was like, maybe. What is it? Your fiance's been making those comments too as well throughout the stream, like, oh, that reminds me just like of us. And it's like, we're so old. Like, I feel like
we're not old.
Yeah, I just feel like we're like 50 already. That's how I feel right now. Like, oh, we already did it all. There we go. You know, like most people, they're like, oh, we gotta live and learn. And then you go through like I don't know, it's one of those things where like some people are like in the lovey-dovey part of the relationship and it's like they can't actually handle a real relationship. And sometimes I'm just like, I feel like we're already in the relaxed part now. Like, we went through all the stress already. Now it's time for retirement. Like,
the relaxed part is so much better.
Yeah.
I bet. No, there was a post that said Canada is currently running low on marijuana after just a few days of it being legal. And I felt really proud. Like,
most awesome story that I heard about the legalization thing in Canada. I know this is off topic, but the Girl Scout that set up the cookie stand outside the dispensary and made bank.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I heard about that.
That was
hilarious.
Incredible.
That better be my kid, or I'm gonna be so disappointed. Like, what is it? It's funny because some people in the comments were like, yeah, but yet they say it's not addictive. Like, it's not. I'm just choosing to do it a bunch. Like, same with vaping. Like, it's like, I literally will go through like 4 tanks a day, and it's not because I have to, but it's like, you know, I really want cake, but I don't have any cake, so I'm just gonna use my liquid cake. Like, I mean, like, if I could get spaghetti and meatballs or something and it actually tastes good, like, I'd never eat again. I would just have healthy food.
Spaghetti and meatball vape. That does not sound good to me.
Apparently there's, like, a beef jerky one and people have tried it and it tastes terrible. Like,
yeah, I bet.
There was one, dude, they named it Wet Dreams.
I don't know what. I don't want to know the flavor of that.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Yeah. Well, you see, one thing I learned from being vegan, the first thing you learn about being vegan is you can't fake meat. Any kind of meat. You know, beef, sausage. Ham? Does ham work? I don't think
sausage is
Yeah, I tried it. It was alright. It's like if someone were to barbecue me this out of sympathy, I would be alright with it. But I don't want to eat this on purpose.
I can't tell if your fiance is excited or not because she put liquid cake with a bunch of like exclamation points. So I think she's excited. So yes, there's cake e-juice and it's yellow cake with buttercream frosting. It's so good. Like, I'm probably not making his life any easier, but like there wasn't a tuna one, but they did have a crab legs e-juice and it was gross.
Oh. Why? Like, it's just eating sausage now. Sausage. It tastes okay, but it leaves this weird, funky aftertaste.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I don't want to know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, you never tried the tofurkey sausage?
It sticks with you.
It's like, I started eating it, and then to get rid of that aftertaste, I just started eating more of it because the initial taste was alright. So I figured if I eat more of it at one time, I'll just have less overall aftertaste.
How'd that work out for you?
It was alright.
Oh, okay.
While you're eating it, so if you could continually eat it throughout the day, the whole day, it would be fine, but you gotta stop eating at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, this is okay. We're so off topic, y'all, but like, it's okay. My friend had like this blue raspberry like vape juice. That thing was disgusting. That did not taste like blue raz. That was gross. It tasted like how like cat food and like cat litter smell. Like,
she might have gotten cat food and cat litter in it for all you know.
to get this back on topic, if you were to personify a tofurkey, it's this guy on the screen right now.
Well, you see, the thing is, tofurkey in my experience is like really greasy. So I would expect the personification to be like all sweaty and gross.
Ew.
Yeah, exactly.
In his closet. I'm telling you, this guy is a lot greasier and grosser.
I'm gonna cry. It feels so gross. This is how I know God isn't real. That right there.
God would never allow something like this.
Yeah. Play the video.
Also, that's why his teeth are perfectly straight.
It wasn't for some high and mighty intellectual argument. It's just that they got mad at God. And they wanted to take it out on him by attacking it.
I would concur with that, and I would give an example from the Bible, which is it says in the book of John, and I advise everybody to read
Did you see
the
that
book.
Face on him. He's like, "Get the camera off me now." He's talking.
Okay, I feel bad for saying this, but it looks like there's a huge horn coming out of his forehead. And
I told you. It's he's like a candy corn.
Like I feel bad because I feel like after I say that, I'm gonna look him up and find out he died of a tumor or something.
Oh my God.
There's something going on there.
No, like, dude, some people just have really weird heads.
Well, I guess this is one of them.
Yeah. Like, some of them are just, like, pointy. Or, like, some of them are shaped like, like a water balloon. They're kind of just too irregular to be okay. We're terrible people.
Some people should not be bald.
I agree, but I don't think he can help it much.
Some people need hair. Or a hat. Imagine him with like a snapback on or something in this very serious video. An I Love Jesus baseball hat.
I think Wessel's ministry is still like doing their thing. So I wonder if it's possible to find out more info on this guy and send him like a beanie or something in the mail.
I am trying to find him right now as we speak.
Oh, are you?
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no.
Well, tell me what you find. Oh, he's a director at Peaceway Productions.
Oh.
I mean, it's telling us that like halfway through the video, but okay. Dale, is it Delaney or Deloney? I like Deloney because it sounds funny.
Sounds like baloney.
Exactly.
Oh, the other guy's a weird, like, moist, sweaty vegan sausage, and this guy is just an irregular baloney.
Yeah, I can
with
see.
A cone.
Yeah, he reminds me of a stack of baloney for some reason.
What?
I'm not sure if this is the same guy, but I found an article from 2015 where a Dale Deloney was suspected of scamming homeowners out of thousands of dollars without finishing his work as a pool builder.
Huh.
I knew that guy was weird.
Huh. That's not the Dale Deloney that I know. Not the good Christian.
Yeah, the Dale Deloney I know would yell at people for not believing in what he likes. Like, what is this?
Checking out a brief it's totally him.
Really?
Are you serious?
Oh, wow.
Totally him. I was, oh man, I will go ahead and copy this and send it to you on Discord.
All right.
It is. It's him. It's crazy.
What?
Huh.
Conehead went a dark path. he strayed from Jesus.
No, Jesus did not want people to have swimming pools, alright? So this guy was doing him a favor. Let's see.
Oh no.
Oh,
he's got the same point. That's definitely his head.
It was the head. It was the point of the head that made me go, oh, that's definitely him.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
He looks, let's see if I can pull this up on my phone.
Yeah, look at the point of the head.
He looks much happier, though.
He does. He's much happier now that he's a con artist.
Yeah.
A con artist. But...
Instead of a director.
Found his true calling. And the lobes are still massive. Look at those lobes. What?
I mean,
Nothing.
So giddy right now.
It's like, you caught me. I didn't finish the pools. Thousands of dollars worth. I got you good. Well, he looks like he's just suffering through it in this video. Like, I'm glad he's a happier person, though. I'm happy for him. I'm happy.
The first story I was reading was he didn't finish a pool for a married couple because the man died of cancer. So he just didn't finish the pool.
Well,
okay.
Apparently the people left over didn't deserve the pool after that. God had to punish them for something. Like, what the hell?
The man was the one who wanted it the most anyway. She won't be upset.
Maybe that caused that woman to doubt, and she's now an atheist.
Yeah. Well, good going, Dale Deloney. Now you've caused another atheist mad at God.
Alright, I don't mean this in a weird way, but I haven't looked at the chat, and I look up and the most recent thing is be cleansed in her egg wash, let it keep all your dough stuck together. And I'm just wondering what the hell is going on in the chat.
That's the almighty chicken.
Yes, the almighty chicken was plucked for your sins, and the creation of the planet was laid from her as an egg. Laid from her as an egg.
Okay, I was just wondering, like, how much did I miss for it to go this way?
Just the one comment, if we would have looked up a little bit.
Look up to the sky at your Jesus. Leave me alone. Go look at my tree branches. Okay.
Good, John. And just read it like what it says. It says Jesus was with God, was God, and he came to earth, God died for us, took on the sins of the world, and died to restore that fellowship that we should have with God. And so Jesus was here.
So,
con people out of pool money.
But Jesus was brutally executed so that we could have fellowship with God. As if, we couldn't talk to him otherwise.
God made this weird plan.
Yeah.
He had all of eternity to come up with this plan. And this was the best he could do.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna make these humans, and then eventually I'm gonna have to kill my son.
What the fuck?
That's just it. That's how it works.
Yeah, it's... You don't really think about it much as a Christian, but after being deconverted for a while, it starts to make less and less sense. And, I mean, it's kind of hard explaining that to someone who is a devout Christian, as I have tried, because they don't really get it. They try to explain it, and none of it makes sense. What?
What? I can't look at you? Okay.
I feel like you're staring at me more intensely and getting closer, but it's fine.
Well, obviously the good part is coming up.
No, what I was thinking in my head is when I was little, I thought I was like a little Jesus because I stepped on a nail and it went through my foot. And I remember I thought, oh my God, I'm like Jesus. And I remember I was crying, but I was like, oh, Mom, I did it. And it hurt like hell.
Here's the deal. Like, if you take all the time that you have been alive, and the amount of pain that you went through with that, for a God to be beaten and dead for 3 days when they had all of eternity, your pain with that nail was much greater than whatever he did. Saya.
It just made me rethink my whole life.
Well, stop being Christian, you'll be alright. Yeah, well...
I'm just wanting to follow the almighty chicken creationist.
Yeah, but I forget if I said this story on the podcast already. No, I've told you. But, when I was, real little, I heard people say Jesus is everywhere. I didn't know exactly what they meant by that.
Oh no.
I thought that they meant that there were little tiny microscopic Jesuses literally everywhere that we couldn't see. And I was afraid. I was afraid to walk. I was afraid to put my backpack down on anything because I'm going to crush Jesus. And after a while I thought about it and I'm like, he's omniscient. He knows how to get out of the way. It's fine.
What?
This is the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I didn't know what they meant. That doesn't make sense to I don't know, it was 5?
I think when I heard that when I was little, I started crying whenever I would take a bath or something because I thought that I was being watched.
No.
And I didn't no. And I was so scared to I remember when I was little, I picked up a cardboard box and I shielded myself in a certain angled direction when I used the bathroom to make sure that Jesus wasn't watching.
Wow.
Why? You see what Jesus does to children? It's not a good thing.
You reminded me about with the nail story. I have a half sister, and she's half Filipino. And in the Philippines, during the Easter celebration, people actually crucify themselves over there, and it's normally something that's only men are allowed to do. But she wanted to do it for some reason because she wanted to get close to God. And her grandfather is some great person in the community. And so he's like, you're going to allow my granddaughter to do it. And so they nailed one hand into the cross, hopping and freaking out and shrieking, and it brought dishonor upon her grandfather, and they all thought she was demon possessed.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah, I heard about that. I forgot that I heard about that, but yeah, that's a real thing that people do.
Oh, hell no. It didn't even go all the way through my foot, and I was ready to, like, punch a child. There is no way that they're gonna nail me to a cross, and I'm not gonna end up, like, putting a nail in their face. Like, there's no way. No. No. I'm good. I don't care how great a God could be. It ain't happening. Like, it's...
Jesus enough.
Nope. Nope.
You need to be closer to God, that's what it is.
Closer to infection.
That all comes from one single verse where it says, pick up your cross and follow me. And like all of Christianity has been like, oh yeah, that's figurative language.
They took that literal.
Oh no, that really means pick up your cross and get crucified like Jesus did.
Fuck that.
I mean, I guess it shows your devotion, but that's just about it.
Yeah, but no. No.
Don't worry, I won't crucify you.
Well, thanks for, being sweet enough to not crucify me. Thank you.
You know what, I'm getting married in a couple of weeks, and I think that's going to be a part of my vows now. I promise not to crucify you.
And if I do, I'll use rope, not nails. We'll be fine.
Oh, well, see, then it's not that bad. Like, then there's no, like, pain, right?
Don't kick it.
I didn't kick it.
Okay.
And they denied him. Of course, they crucified him, and they hated him. Okay? So people, and the reason it states is...
You know what? They crucified her, and then they hated her. She's just like Jesus. She's a saint. Right? Is that how it works?
My sister, the saint.
Is that
teenagers.
People love their sin. They love the darkness rather than light because it exposed their deeds. And what it is we would rather not look at ourselves and see how depraved we really are. If we compare ourselves with other people, that may be fine. I'm better than him. I didn't murder my wife, or I didn't kill my dog or whatever. But when you compare yourself to a holy God, you look up in the sky one night and you see how awesome the universe is.
Putting your child on a cross, that did great. Yeah. That's the goal.
I haven't done that yet, so I think I can say that I am better.
Yeah, right?
God.
So this is the argument. You just want to live in sin. And when you do that, and you believe in God, and you look at the Bible, then you know how wrong you are. So you're just an atheist. So that you can sin all you want.
How did they know?
He obviously missed the thou shalt not steal.
It's not stealing, it's a confidence trick. There's a difference.
It's a confidence trick. I really want vegan chicken.
I think we have one left. I'll get you one after the show.
One left? How much do you eat? Like, now I don't have vegan chicken.
Well, I don't buy a whole bunch at a time.
I have like 12 packs at home.
Not everybody's as crazy as you. Why don't you go home and eat yours?
Shut up.
Well,
Awkward.
Yeah, well, I think we're...
Ow! Oh, I punched myself in the nose. Don't mind me.
Alright, well, I want to get to the end of his point here, but I think we're just about to wrap up this episode. So, let's hear what he has to say.
is. You're like, wow, you know. Some people can't believe in God because it's too huge to think that God just made it with the world, but that is a good...
Yeah. Like, I can't imagine myself getting down on pleasing Jesus, because he's so huge.
I fit that. That is not going to fit in there. Have to do breathing exercises and everything before we go there.
Yeah, I can't open myself up wide enough to let in all of his awesomeness. Massiveness.
All of his massive, moist, spirity juiceness.
I don't deserve this.
Yeah, but no, the tiny atheist mind cannot comprehend your idea of the Christian God, but alright.
He's thick.
You need to understand this. Enter our rectums. Butt stuff in here somewhere.
You know, I have heard that before from Christians.
Excuse me?
They say they want God to fill every part of them.
Oh
Yes.
my God! I thought you were saying there was like a Bible thing. There was like a sentence in there somewhere about how they want to be like butt fucked by Jesus, and I was like, please tell me that you're kidding. Like, don't let that be real.
That might not be a hymn yet, but I think I'm gonna write one.
Oh no.
Reason to fear God because he could squish us like a bug, but he loves us.
Oh, he
and
can
the
squish,
whole
all
deal
right.
is, yeah, we are sinners, but
Yeah, he loves us. That's why he allows all these terrible things. He can squish us like a bug, and that makes us want to worship him? I don't understand.
Ants worship you. They don't.
Like, those little bastards don't appreciate anything. But then again, I am constantly trying to kill them. But then again, God is constantly trying to kill us. So yeah.
Yes.
I guess I don't owe God nothing.
rather than rejecting God and not faith.
Sorry?
You owe God you owe God everything. You owe you don't just take the tip when it comes to God. You take it all.
Yeah, I need him to fill every part of me, and he is huge.
I'm about to take this headphone out, go to the other side of the room, vape, and just get rid of all the sinfulness I feel right now.
See, here's the thing about God. He can do anything. So he can change the shape and the size in order that he can fill every orifice, like nostrils, ears, everything.
Your pores.
Oh my god, he's gonna go through my stretched ears. Oh no.
You don't know pleasure until you've had a poor job.
Oh my god.
And don't worry, babe. Anytime you need him, you can just call on him. Because he is everywhere,
I'm
baby.
done. I'm done.
The eternal booty call.
Facing it, we should just admit that we are sinners, which is what the Bible basically says, is just confess that you're a sinner and you're in need of a holy God. You're in need of the salvation.
Yeah, at this point, we do need Jesus.
Yeah.
God is a hentai monster now. Oh lord.
Oh no.
I hope not.
I would
Well,
watch
he
that.
can do anything. He can split that into a multi-tentacled beast.
What if he what if he just fills you up with tacos or something? I'm just saying.
Some people are into that.
That's the God I want to follow. Taco God.
that he offers freely, but because and the punishment that he took for us, you're in need of that, and then go on and grow as a Christian.
I didn't ask him to take the punishment for me.
And say, Lord, clean up my life.
You needed him too.
You know, rather than avoiding it and denying it and hating God and blaming him for everything, because he set things into motion, and he gives us he gives us this planet, and
after a while we have less and less reason to think that, but
yeah.
So he's saying, when bad things happen, you need to accept Jesus. Don't push him away. You need to get closer to him.
I mean, I get being selfless, but, like, I don't know if I want to, like, be friends with someone who said, yeah, nail me to a wood in order to get my point across. Like, I
don't want to be friends with someone that's constantly trying to get inside you.
No, I don't.
For those of you can't see, she just freaked the fuck out for dropping her phone.
My baby.
It has like the most protective case we could get.
Move your big ass.
Just for that, I'm not moving. Oh, well, I guess I am.
Jesus gave me the strength to punch your ass another way.
Yeah. But I think that's gonna be the end of this episode.
Oh God.
What about him? You know, I used to say that a lot as a Christian. People would say, "Oh God," or "Good Lord," or "Jesus," and I'd be like, "What about him?"
Oh. That's so cringy.
Yeah, I was the worst. I'm ashamed. I am now repentant more than I ever was as a Christian, and I apologize to society as a whole. I'm getting better.
I've said this before. One of the last things that I did that was like super cringy Christian was I texted all of my friends, "God's not dead."
Oh no. Oh no.
I did.
No.
I did that. I was one of those.
I don't know if you know about this, but there's this movie, God's Not Dead. And of course, it was this Christian whole inspirational thing, and at the end of it, it was like, text all your friends, God's not dead. And even as a Christian, would never have done that. Not only because I never had anyone to text, because I didn't have friends, but I wouldn't stoop.
Oh,
I wouldn't stoop to that
do you
level.
see the chat?
I did it.
Do you you should look at the chat. Your fiance's telling all the information.
Oof.
What do atheists scream in bed?
Yes, Godless Iowan usually. Things are involved, but we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
I like how she says the whole thing. Not
So, I think next time we should invite Jesus into our bed with us.
No.
After all, he is huge. Huger than you can ever imagine. He can fill us both up.
Oh my God.
At the same time.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, but I think that's gonna wrap this up. We left it off on a high note.
Thank you for all of you that could actually sit through this.
Well, I mean, hardly, with all the internet problems I had. Again, this will be re-uploaded to the Sinner's Pew channel. That link should be in the description. Check that out. Subscribe to there, and you can watch the whole thing. Better quality. But thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Godless Iowan. I came across your channel, and I thought you would fit in this podcast nicely. So thank you for being here.
This has been awesome.
Yeah, like I had a good time too. This is the first time we've been on a podcast, and it's amazing. Like I'm.
Yeah, and I figured with your personality, you'd do well in the podcast. So thank you for coming. So everybody, check out Godless Iowan. His stuff is great. He's got live streams. He's got other stuff. Definitely check him out. I like his channel. Do not check her out, because she's mine. She's my property.
Oh, okay. I already got 20 subscribers.
But thank all of you guys for watching. I will see you in the next episode, which could be like a month and a half away as far as I know. Again, the schedule's going to be all over the places. Even my own personal schedule is all over the place. But thank
you for joining.
Yeah, thanks to everybody who supports me on Patreon, including those who gave me enough for the Audible credits this month. That was Patreon Dan and Own Me. I'm going to say Own Me. Those who have pledged, we'll get you next month once the payment goes through. But
I subscribed to your fiance, so
She's awesome.
yeah, so you're a new subscriber.
okay.
I'm a good person. What do you want from me?
Okay. You see, non-Christians can be good people, apparently.
Excuse me?
Thank you, everyone, and goodbye.
What the hell was that?